Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're playing a really spicy list. We are playing Jeskai Control. This is a take on blue-white control, but we are adding red in to get some of these other cards into the deck. And this is probably one of the few decks that I've played that has the most new cards from Murders at Karlov Manor in it, with a lot of them being like Lightning Strike, Deduce, and some other top-end cards with that. We actually have a card in here that outperformed my expectation, and I'm very happy about it. So hopefully we get to those games. But my favorite part about this deck is once we turn the corner, we do it very, very quickly and can win very, very quickly with that. Also, a control deck with no Jace win con, so that's pretty sweet as well. So let's get out there and let's dive in. Imagine lockdowns to take, but it could not be. Could feel like maybe March is more important because it does exile, but I definitely think lockdown's pretty important here. I don't even care about getting it back right now. Play another land. We did find a second blue, by the way. I didn't really bring that part up. Sorry, I hit my microphone. We did find our second blue, so that's pretty nice that we'll have this Memory Deluge on the back burner if we hit it. Find 27 lands, so it's possible that we do just kind of hit all lands here, especially when we play this creature and start attacking with it potentially. This is, however, one of the matchups, like, we potentially have to put this back in our hand after combat. You don't necessarily have a lot of haste or anything like that. In life, sure. Sure. Putting that in the yard. Okay. Sure. Don't really care too much. Yep. And a land. We're on the play, so it's definitely ours. But we're going to play here, and I'm going to go ahead and put a lockdown on the stack. We're going to take everything currently on the board underneath lockdown and then get our march back. Here we go. Another cool thing we could potentially do in the future, by the way, is depending, sometimes, like against this matchup, for example, our opponent played multiple legendary creatures and we had a couple under the lockdown, we can always pick up lockdown and then re-put it back into play. Drop Poisoner, by the way, is one of the reasons, like, probably have to put this back in our hand a lot of times. I don't see them being able to make the mana work right now. Sure. One of the examples. Okay. Sure. My turn. I mean, you play bat, so I think I just have to Sunfall. Like Deep Cavern Bat, so we do have this card. We definitely have to go ahead and fire off the Sunfall there. I didn't really want to, but I think we just have to. Sure, gain life, voice goes up. That's all fine and dandy from here on out. And then I guess I just kind of pass because I'm hoping to Memory Deluge here and maybe find some lands, and then we can just march some stuff down. I have a weird feeling that one of the cards in their hand is the 3 mana bring a creature back from the graveyard. So if I do the voice, I kind of want to exile the voice. But who really knows? I'm highlighting their creatures. You have a Convoke spell or something? Trying to play into 5 untapped mana is not necessarily the easiest thing of all time. Sure. You don't have to select anything. Choose not to. Of course. You also have to be careful of this. They have 1 white mana. What could it be? Time Explosion is pretty sweet. That's 4 mana. We could definitely take it here. I think mana just in general is what I want. 4 damage I don't think is going to be the end of the world. You have a case here? No, land. Takanuma. Okay. Yeah? Sure. Let us fire off Ill-Time Explosion. Might have to let this guy go for now. Yeah, it and this March, I suppose. We don't have to discard anything, but we have to here because it can bring stuff back. So sure, we'll take our little burn damage here, apply another mana, and now we have a lot going on in terms of like, we'll just keep exiling their stuff. We can memory deluge on their end steps. There's a case, not necessarily the worst thing in the world for us. You can just exile it straight up. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's one of the only ways I think they really climb back into this game is by getting this to trigger. And maybe you can say, oh, wait and do it later. But I'd much rather on this next end step have the potential of casting a memory deluge and getting the cards that I want instead of waiting and being like, well, if they do trigger it, then I have to march it, but now I can't memory deluge. Instead, we just do the whole... Just do the better thing, I think. Might be going to time. Not sure. I am unsure. We'll see. Nope. They let it get exiled. I don't know if they maybe had a way to stop it. Oh! Thick. Nasty. I don't care. I'm changing my entire game plan. I'm putting this thing in. Get in there. We might have a reader, but this card is sick. This card is dope. I love this card. Hey, do I want to start attacking? I think so. I could crew it with this, but I'm never really doing that. I want to do the evidence part if I want to do anything with it. And then we potentially get to start playing with Snapcaster Mage, which that's pretty sick. Oh, what do we got in here? Ill-Time Explosion is pretty cool. It's just like a draw tool if we want it to be. Virtue, okay. Definitely a card that's good. My turn. Sick. We play that, and this is really good against this. So now we collect evidence, and then we get to do the Ill-Time. And honestly, because it will keep the cards, we can just do this underneath. It doesn't really matter how we do it. I could do Memory Deluge if I wanted to, because then if we crewed and then attacked with it, Memory Deluge would already be underneath it, but not necessarily important enough. I don't have any way of bringing this back or anything like that, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. Now we move to combat. We attack. That triggers. Cast this. Yeah, we'll do it like that. And we draw, and then we decline. So now you see we don't take any damage, and they just take 4. We're having a good time, I think. But slowly do this over and over and over again. Could have left up mana for Memory Deluge if I really wanted to, but I think this might be enough for a concession. Yeah. Sorry, opponent. I understand. My opponent goes first. Like, fine. I mean, our hand's keepable. We have 3 mana. I keep, like... I'm, like, addicted to drawing the lands that enter tap, though. I'll keep, because it's a land that doesn't enter tapped, and that's incredible for us. Fennec, sure. We're against Esper here. That kind of sucks, but that's also fine, because a lot of times can be an answer for us. Wedding announcement. Getting countered. Deduce to go card. We'll play this, and then we can deduce if we want to. Green will be kind of annoying, but we do have an answer for it with Ill-Time Explosion, discarding a Memory Deluge. Also, our opponent's incredibly disgusting. They're like trying to disguise themselves as a mono red player. Like Sarkin in the red sleeves. Just show us who you are. So honestly, sure. Farewell, great draw. Play into this. Now I think it's like a weird situation. It's like, do I Ill-Time Explosion, just use it as a draw spell, but I can also just kill these, I guess. That's kind of the other side of it, right? Like, let's just do this. Draw those, no more lives is pretty cool. I have to keep my Farewell around because I have to be able to pick up this plus whatever nonsense they play after. This card's really good to play if they just play this next turn, which I don't think they will. The Deuce is kind of bad. I need it to be at least 3. This is kind of good. I guess it's just memory to lose. Go 4, pop those out of the way, call it a day. Now we see a plaza for indestructible, but farewell can get around that, of course. Dennick. Old Dennick. Dennick, my sweet boy. Do I just play Teferi? Just draw a card, put it at 5? Then they're kind of forced to answer it, I guess. Could also just play this. Then just have it kind of be my dope card I play, but I'm gonna play Teferi first. Now I could make a creature, but then Teferi wouldn't live. Hey, that's pretty cool. Also, we'll get another draw unless he plays Shieldred, obviously. That'll be somewhat devastating, but we're looking for farewell to kind of pop everything out of place. Sure, that happens. That untaps. Lightning Helix is actually pretty dope. Now we're Teferi. Now we're drawing. Now we're chilling like a villain. Tap land. One red source is mad whack, huh? I mean, we have the time. Let's do this. Basics land test. Don't worry, opponent. I barely play them. I'm not gonna make you do it. I can't do it. We definitely have to Lightning Helix this now. Get it out of the way. And we just pass. We have a March we can technically use, but farewell is going to be all the craze for the next coming turns. And our opponent with 5 cards in hand and a Virtue in play says, I've had enough and I don't want to play anymore. I think that's fair. I think that's reasonable. Oh, we go first. And his hand's pretty dope. I don't really want to pass up on cards if I don't have to. I know these lands enter tap, but we play 27. We kind of have a redraw. So if I don't find a land against Forest Convoke, we're on some terms, let me tell you what. But here we definitely just play the untapped source so we can either deduce, counterspell, or burn something. All possible. I'm going to take a draw, I think. I could also counter this. Guess we... So annoying, because obviously I have this to get it rid of it. Because if I hit an untapped source, but I'm not guaranteed it, so I'm going to guarantee that their turn is significantly slower. Sunfall, free draw. Because a lot of times you can answer this board once, but it really, like, if you find somebody that's not calling Boris Convoke players out, but if you find somebody that's actually really good with this deck, they don't ever go all in and commit unless they have to. For example, a card that would force them to is an Atraxa. Atraxa is definitely a card that says, hey, better answer me or kill me now, because I'm going to gain 7 every turn. But most of the times when you lock down them, it doesn't do anything. So as you can see here, they're not committing. They had probably options. They might take another draw. They might flash in the 2-mana creature at this point. That kind of sucks. Please don't do this to me. Oh, well, I mean, I'll take it. I will take it. Now we sit here and we wait again. I just crack this clue and draw a card, which is sick. Honestly, Deduce is actually in control decks. I was playing Faithful Mending here just for the life gain, but it was never the life gain I was after. It was just after kind of like more cards or more ways to draw cards. And Deduce is kind of giving us that, which is kind of nice. Do I Lightning Helix now? Probably not. I think I just pretend like I have a counter spell up. I get to stop at every keep here, so it's not like they get to do much. If I take 6 this turn, it takes 6 this turn. If they play like Lord. So there's that. That means they're not going to do much else. Let's just draw here, I suppose. I don't have to use a card from my hand. We might want to use this later, because if we're going to lock down, we should get rid of the artifact. Untap land would be by far the best draw, I think. Because then we can play land, play Celestis, and then lock down taking all these tokens, and then they're stuck with like a knight. Could see them commit a little more here, but they're not going to. This is also what I was talking about in the one term, is like they're gonna flash this in on the instep, and then they can try to just kill me there. But me not drawing a land, once again, is the big key contributor to me getting crushed here, it feels like. So I'm going to play a Celestis. I just have to. I have to play this Sunfall draw. Or the Sunfall play, I think. Could lock down, but they've already proven that they're not going to commit to anything they don't feel obligated to commit to. In turn. Flash it in. I suppose. Sure. Ending the Sunfall. Where I'm at. Really hope this turns really lackluster. But I have a weird, strange feeling it's not going to be. I'm going to feel really upset. But maybe they don't go for it, thinking I have a counter spell up. I didn't counter that. There was a pause on the stack, so they might have to question. Lethal Demolition on that. Okay. That is quite annoying. You're unhinged this turn, I guess. They drew another Gleeful Demolition. That's so annoying. They play like 3, most lists do now, because it's so high roll if you hit it or not. Now I feel goofy not doing this, but I think you can. No, it's only artifacts, not enchantment either. Not both. And now at some point you gotta decide if you're gonna hit me, kill me, play this guy, starts crying some stuff or not. At some point, I feel as though I need to hit a land that I don't know what team I can play an untap land in Sunfall. If not, I'll cry. Have to attack with 3 creatures. They can scry with a token. Yeah. You can tap itself. Okay. There you go. On the 10. And scry. We draw a land. We have a high chance of winning. We don't draw a land. We lose on the spot. And they keep on top, which is kind of tough. Oh my god, I should have specified. Yeah, I am literally shocked. No surprise for me. Haha. Well, now it's just like, kind of hope it's not Recruiter. That's 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. I go to 2. They play another creature and then Recruiter. I die on the spot. Which that also sucks. Sure. A land draw again is also still good, which is weird. Then we can Wandering Emperor take this out and then Lightning Helix the other thing. What do you got for me? Can it stop being tap lands though? I know that's tough, but I really need to stop being tap lands. But alright. They don't play Recruiter. They don't pump out as much damage as they can. Vector. Token. Recruiter. 5. Sure. Oh, now we're drawing lands, huh? Now we're drawing lands. I see how it is. Lightning Helix this. In case we need to recruit or something else. If not, I probably need a Memory Deluge if I can. Probably need a Memory Deluge if I can. Okay. Sure. Yep. Here. Make a 2/2. The reason we make a 2/2 is so we can kill that, and then we can exile this, and then we get rid of both of them. And now they're not left with like a creature left behind that they can use to convoke out the big guy or whatever they want to do. And now we're at 4. Do we survive? Or do we die? I'm surprised we're even here. I think you kind of saw my frustration of playing against this deck so often. It's just like a nightmare to sit here and run into it over and over again. But also, it's like whatever. Okay. I mean, that resolves. Fine. Pass. Practice. Pass this. Yeah, I guess. And now it begins. We will pass turn here. Nope. I'm so excited. I love this card. I want it to be good so bad. I think the mana base for this deck is too bad to kind of support this early nonsense because we're so white heavy. But like we have to have double white on 2, a blue and a red on our 3, and also a blue and red if we play more copies of this. Whereas if we kind of do it this way, we don't necessarily have to do that. Sure. Alright, well, maybe I should have killed one, but who knows. They're tapped out now, though. I guess just Memory Delusion Sunfall the board, just Lightning Helix them. Kind of about that, and then I'll just Lightning Helix them again. Sure. Lightning Helix. Yeah. I would like to play land. I would like to Sunfall the board. We having a good time yet, opponent? I am. Best part about this is on the collect evidence, we just get to kind of do it however we want. At these. Now I move to combat and I attack. I like to cast one under these. Yes, I would like to do this. I'd like the Helix. I'd like to do that Helix. The reason we're so willing to do it is because now we're up at 9 and I have a incubate token left behind. And then next turn we can Memory Deluge, we can Lightning Helix again, which will actually be threatening lethal because we have 8 damage on the board. Actually, I'd probably just kill him, right? Because I can evidence, I can do this, I can attack, also have an anchorage up, and then cast Lightning Helix as well. Very cool. I forgot I also had to end that turn with the Sunfall, so here we are. Is up? I already played the second in Ganja too, right? Yeah. There's most likely not a third, and Sogazon's not possible right now, so incubator token. Bring it up. Alright, cool. They finally let us go. Said they didn't actually want a timeout. They thought about it, but collect evidence 6. Lightning Helix Sunfall. What's up? Yep. What's up? Again, we'll Lightning Helix this frontliner out of the way. Okay, never mind. They have another timeout. Oh my. Let me out, please. Okay, we finally timed them out. Go to combat. These triggers. This, yes. Helix, here, yes. Pay. Get that out of my way. And then we hit for 10. Exactly. Cool. My only gripe, really, against this matchup, playing this Jeskai deck so far, has literally been, if I hit lands, I've been crushing it. If I don't hit lands in my 27 land deck, I am fighting for my life every single time. Yeah, I mean, King Keep, I think, on the back of the fact that we have a turn 2 removal spell, turn 3 pretty much catch everything. A treasure, okay. On a red, unsure, Ouroboros, yeah. Oh god. They don't attack, it's kind of dangerous for us. So I think you have to sack to be able to tap and sack, yeah. So for us here, it's definitely this. Because we have the temporary lockdown following this turn. It's really nice for us. The problem is like a Lorien's revealed or something like that would have protected this, so we have to get it off the board immediately. We'll see. Turn 1 wall. What would you like to do? The only real problem for them here is like activating these maps to put them on your Gold Hound is a little bit dangerous just on the fact that like a lot of times you play Gold Hound to sack it. Like you don't generally want to keep it as a creature. Well, great play for us. No white to flicker, I think. Map sack, menace. I think maybe they're just going to try to ride out this Gold Hound. One counter to lifelink and indestructible. Best part about our deck is indestructible is not necessarily that great. Throw that away, knowing it could hit. Maybe they're looking for more. Could be. Definitely could be. Alright, well. Hear me out. I just play Celestis. Just kidding. We definitely just do this, and we definitely just do this. Take the creatures that are currently in play, get them off the battlefield, and then we work on getting Celestis down, an Emperor down. Next turn. That says words, phrases, and text. Whenever field damage. Our permanent control is dealt damage. Target. Okay. Hexproof and indestructible. That one's just lifelink and indestructible. I'm here to not let it flip to nighttime, I think. Dealt damage. That much damage to any target. Okay. Plus 2-0 until end of turn. You can activate that multiple times. Then on our turn, we Emperor try to exile it, and if they try to protect it, we cry, I think. It's like pretty reasonable to me. Pump, sure. They don't do anything. I get to loot for free. That's pretty cool. Unless I'm getting it chucked at me, I suppose. This is 4 mana? Right now I can't do anything? Up to 8. I have to imagine this is a protection spell. Well, hopefully that's just good. All right. Can't think of any white or red spell currently in standard that would like flicker a creature or phase it out. I think those are all resided in blue spells. They play another one. Stop with this. Get lost. Now we're allowed to just. Now we're legally allowed to just pay, I think. Because nighttime, it doesn't get like ward or anything like that. We'll definitely take the draw. Another Field of Ruin. Honestly, it's fine, because if we discard Memory Deluge now, next time we play Field of Ruin, that we have the mana, I think. Yeah. We'd have the mana regardless, so it'll be okay. I do all this? Probably not. Emperor now?
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it.
I should have waited to see if they put anything on this. This is definitely a mistake by me. They don't. I get it for free.
Well done.
Not punished. That's sick. I like that. That says indestructible until end of turn. I don't like that. Incubate, because if it gets indestructible, by the way, they still make this. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but here's a 2/2. 2/2 on the 2/2.
We've got the edge in
All right.
this fight.
Now, do I just draw? No, probably not. I think I just wait. Pass. Field Ruins are normally good. I don't have a red source besides this Celestis, which is kind of funny. I do only have one red basic as well. This being a 2/2 allows me to block for free. I could probably get rid of like their entire hand. They attack there. That's fine. Block. Okay. Lifelink and indestructible. And then go colorless here. Fire this off. Give it indestructible by discarding a card, which is what we want. And we got some other shenanigans going on from here. Get lost. All right. We want to do this. We'll go grab our red mana that we need. Red mana. Anything too important? Indestructible, life gain, indestructible. My 2/2 would just be gone. Yeah, I'm not that opposed to that regardless, I guess. Also, I guess it doesn't matter. If I can just save my 2/2, I might as well. I was going to let this mana go away, but like, I don't know what for 3 mana they wouldn't be able to play anyway. Like, I was wanting to go past combat so their floating mana would be gone. But the problem is, I don't think it matters. Like, their floating mana wouldn't go into anything anyway, unless it's something like that, for example. We'll take the draw. Might as well. Not that great. Memory, Boosh, and ill-time explosion. Huh? This is only to creatures, so just do this. See what happens. We only have to discard a 1-mana spell, or discard 2, and we fall short on the mana count here. So that. I mean, realistically, as long as we keep the board clear, I'm pretty sure we're fine. Now we do that. We have a lightning helix available, and they're in top deck mode. I think I'll just take this any day of the week. Going to nighttime as well here. Honestly, lightning helix is not that bad. I'm just going to decline. Okay, lightning helix is not that bad. I'm just going to decline. Plus here. Attack. Getting in there. We're gonna pass. Everything's going fine and dandy right now. There's a targetable source for my field room, but I actually don't want to thin them anymore, I think. Yeah, then we just memory delusion. What am I even talking about? Grab cards, do think. I think with as much mana as I have, I think the optimal thing is just to grab as many cards as possible. Just start doing this. They're on a 3-turn clock right now, if not 2-turn, right? Yeah, because this will be 6. Yeah, they're on a 2-turn clock, or significantly more. Plus target here. Could have done this, but I'm just doesn't matter. I think
your training.
Does not matter. Here. Okay. Block and block? Go block. Oh, they're gonna try to leave 1 behind, I guess, because why would they not? Pass. I have 9 damage just in my hand, which is kind of disgusting. All right, that off. That's just hard counter because they don't have 3, and then we'll fire off lightning helix, fire off another one, and then go from there. Seems pretty good. Seems pretty good for us, I would say. Who goes first? Like, okay. Start off Stormcarved Coast probably, then play Secrum, then play Secrum, I guess. Blue and red. I have double white here for lockdown. Or we're gonna have to sit here and cry the whole time. Now we have to play a stupid mirror. I love mirrors. They're so great. They're my favorite. They're my favorite experience. And at least we have kind of the mirror breaker if they don't have a counter spell. But then we have to wait until we get to 7 mana so we can play it and then counter their counter spell, which is everybody's favorite thing to do. Yep. Play this. Play your memory deluge. Do this. We make it 2/2 because it interacts. It's like they have to answer it. And I'll play this after they sunfall this turn or something. They'll like get lost this, do something to this. I'll cry. Not. Alright, well, now we're cooking. Now I can just start doing stuff in response. I can't imagine a world where this is just bring up to 2/3. Normally they'll want to, but I would say I can't imagine a world where that's actually what they do. Still ruining me. If so, I'm busy. I don't want to be field ruined right now. Leave me alone. We play 3 basics, not many, but blue and red. That is gone. Grab another blue. We have 4 white, 3 blue, and 2 red. Red is the lower pip count in our deck, or the lowest pip count in our deck. Yes. The Celestis. I will make sure you don't have that. Or if they want to fight over it, then sure. I'm just going to try to ride these creatures to the promised land. Or get ourselves within striking distance that we actually can then bop them with like this guy. I think they're holding up no more lies right now. More activations with the Emperor, the better off we are. By far. Control, answer multiple threats, including a planeswalker, is what they have the hardest time doing. Oh, you did play a tap land, huh? I will get rid of that. I can pay for no more lies myself, so sure. Here. Did I get this to work yet? No. I could though. Really could. This plus here. Go for the more damage. Because they're eventually going to have to feel obligated to answer these, I think. I'm pretty sure my plan is just to cast this fill time explosion and just draw some more cards and just hopefully get to the lightning helix burn aspect of our game. Fill time explosion. Yep. Where we are. Decline. You do not have to discard a card. Whatever you'd like. Rifle mending. Get lost. March. 0. I will allow it. We're still stuck in the same spot. A plus on this and a hit. Lightning helix is lethal. Land. Minus. I guess. No, I don't think we do that. I think we just keep making 2/2s. It's way too easy for them to just remove one creature. So as long as I can keep forcing cards out of their hand, I will. Memory deluge. Sure. Grab 2 cards. 4. Then, do I play this? Haha, just kidding. But we're hoping they have to Sunfall here pretty much. Or even Farewell or something goofy like that. Sunset Revelry. Sure. I could have actually Lightning Helix them and been on less cards. One of the things they're gonna have to worry about. Yeah. Now I can kind of guarantee get damage through, which is sweet. Lightning Helix number 2 is devastating. Normally, you would think, at least. But here we go. This is the time to go for it. Hard counter spell. If it's not a hard counter spell, we have 3 mana. No more lies. Do we pay for no more lies, or do we? I think we do. Just force them to play both. All right. Sweet. And now they can't block both of these. That lightning helix alone is enough. Because the problem was, if we didn't pay for no more lives and we tried to go to combat, they would bring this up and maybe block, and then lightning helix alone wouldn't be lethal. Sure, there's that. Ah, just another sunset revelry right on time, huh? Pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Full-time explosion can just draw some cards. Let us go for it. No? Fail? Can demolition field me. So I'm going to put that in the graveyard because I don't want them to be able to shuffle it away with the demolition field. You know, I do think I can choose. I'll make it 2-2.
Keep watch for intruders.
And I'll pass. I already played a land. Oh, you see them. They go for demolition field. Surprised to see them going for it. Just considering, like, not really taking into the fact that I could be playing, like, creature lands at all. Sure. I will take the chance to thin. Also, tapping out there kind of tells me that I don't think they have anything, by the way. Because I don't think they're tapping out with the potential to get lightning helix again. I know we already played 2, but you still play to that out. Here's my 2-2. Play land tap. Bring that up and attacking. Okay. Taking out this Emperor. They've had enough. They might even crawl back into this game, to be honest with you. Very possible. That. Ace. Okay. 36. That said words. That's for sure. Full partition. The mill plan is potentially possible here. Lightning helix. Tick. Tapped out. Lightning helix, and we get him. Whoa, boy. And this is why I like playing Jeskai, because you don't have to rely on your cards that are actively in play, and if you don't play Jace, you don't have to rely on it in these tough spots. One goes first. Okay. Our tap land's a little annoying, but we can kind of get around it. On a draw, I kind of want to surveil first. I have to decide what matchup this is. I have to imagine it's Boros. Ill-Time Explosion is not the worst, but we just need lands. This was another white source that was untapped. I would keep it so I can march this thing, but I just don't have it ready. Human, okay, attack. Thalia. Maybe? No, okay. We're gonna play this, and the reason why is because most likely our game plan is to march this. Could argue maybe we shouldn't have, just because we have a white, and if they don't do anything that's too pressing, we just faithful mending, which is definitely possible, I suppose. I guess playing this would also give us no more lives to just counter it, but this also just counters it. Also argue if they play something big here, like the bunny corn. There's a knight. That's fine. You tap that for a colorless? That's not how that works. Unless they made a white off of it, I'm not sure. I mean, we could exile this token if we wanted to, but... Yep. Probably should have played this. That's kind of the annoying side, I guess. Go ahead and get rid of this, though. Kind of be a little bit more mana efficient if I can afford to be. Then I'm going to pass here. Temporary lockdown would be great. We're going to have to faithful mending most likely, unless we can no more lies something. You play the enchantment. Vampire. That's fine. Now I'm feeling worse about letting the Ill-Time Explosion go. Blood cycling here. We have Gleeful Demolition. Okay. Worst part is they're kind of flooding too. This is like definitely a matchup we could come away with, but we're kind of struggling to find the stuff to do it. Discard 2 cards. I think Emperor has to stay in hand. No More Lies is basically a dead card. This is kind of a whatever card right now. Prairie Lockdown would be great. Lightning Helix is actually not the worst I've ever experienced. So I'm going to play out this Emperor and exile this Knight, kind of hoping that maybe they will potentially attack down my Emperor a little bit and kind of just use it as a buffer on my life total. We go up to 14. We're sitting kind of nice right now. And nice is very timid. That's what I was holding No More Lies for, but I talked myself off of it, even though I do think it's still the correct choice. I think we're getting hit down to 10, probably. Yeah, what it seems like. Now, if we can hit land in the Farewell, Hilltop Explosion, not that bad, actually. This does answer the board's current board state. Don't gain any life, but I mean, gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Double land. Now Farewell. Option to just get to play land here, and I can play Farewell next turn. And I can get rid of everything. I think it's just this and this. That will deal 4 damage and kill their entire board. That's the thing to remember there. I guess good game because I lost. I have no idea. If you have it, you have it. Unless they're completely flooded and have nothing. Or is it this plus an Immodange Recruiter and all that was for nothing? French. Lord of Jund is probably going to be playing Boros. That's crazy. It's a crazy time out here, you know? Where Boros players are allowed to just live amongst us. Hiding under the Jund archetype. With... Maybe they are Jund. I don't know. That'd be sweet, but I doubt it. I don't know, Cap. Not looking like Jund to me. Looking like blue, white, tempo, or Esper. Go play Dennick. Yep. Yep. Can't poison. Just haven't played the Bant part yet. Oh, we gotta get rid of that. It's all fine and dandy. I do have a Field of Ruin, which is good. They don't play a lot of lands, but they play a basic green source. We'll be upset. So, for me, it's definitely just Field of Ruin, because if I do Field of Ruin them, it finds out that they play very few basics. I'm definitely popping off some stuff. Definitely double wastelanding them, and I want to do it now while I can. And you might be like, why? Well, why would we do that? Because I don't have 2 more basics in the deck myself, which is kind of absurd. So we got to make sure that we try to lower our chance of drawing it here. They play a basic. But that also kind of confirms to me that they're just, maybe they are just blue-white. They just haven't hit anything, so now we can just kind of pass here. Then maybe they'll flash something in. Maybe they won't flash something in. I do have Memory Deluge, which is what I've missed in a couple of my matches. This has to be a 4 of in these decks. Weird. Weird indeed. Helix. Helix doesn't really do anything, but I'm doing Helix. I could march this, but I don't really want to. No, I could march that one. Huh? One. Bye. Very sick. There's an Emperor. Like that, because Emperor can make 2/2s. 2/2s are good at blocking 1/1s. Honestly, holding this for the Phyrexian type of lands that they are worth it. I don't have the poison all the way up, so the 2-mana counterspell is not a permanent 2-mana counterspell. I make a 2/2 because gaining life in this matchup does not matter.
Let your blade do the talking.
Aiding hope. I'm going for it now. They could counter this, but sure as my memory lose resolves, everything's good there. With Emperor, I'll just either exile this, their turn, and phase it out. Okay, that is fine. Ill-gotten gains. Let us. That kind of sucks. I think they scried at the top too. I wish I could see a log. Take a 2/2.
Guards, to me.
Pop this. Get our white. Now I'm just gonna ill-time explosion, I think, and just draw 2. No more basics for our opponent, or they didn't search. Fine. All right, now we have cards. Magic the Gathering cards. Sentry. Sure. Will this kill this? Who knows? It will. That saves us from getting poisoned regardless. Very nice. Lightning Helix is sick. I'm gonna cast this, and we're gonna get rid of a memory deluge and a land. We like land, but not at this spot. 4. Those are now gone. They make a might. That's fine. I pop the might so they can't protect it. Then I play an additional land. Pull from here. Done. Mr. Jund. Jund Gamer. Not done. We get like a turn, right? So I guess I just want to look at 7, but I think it's probably better if I just do memory deluge this way first. Oh, sick draw. Now I'm pumped. Sunfall good, Sunfall bad, Sunfall okay, Emperor probably better. And then we pass, and then we slam the lockdown next turn. Maybe they try to phase their stuff out, and then I cry. All possibilities. They're all possible. 1 mana, I don't know what that would be. They also could play Odawara too. They could eventually bounce this, which would be kind of devastating. Now Counterspell makes everything significantly better for us. So we lock down now. Taking this under its control, and this might. I looked over to make sure I was recording because I was about to be the saddest boy I've ever been. Because this game's actually been, like, don't get me wrong, they're low on mana, but this matchup is normally so hard because poison's so hard to deal with. If they try to protect it, I'm countering it. Counter this. Not letting them protect it. You can march and exile a card if you'd like, but I'm not letting you protect any poison card whatsoever. And now, this vehicle is going to be the thing that devastates most likely. Because we'll start exiling like Helix and do the thing that we've done in the past matchups. Here we go. And here we go. I love this card. Probably my favorite card of the set because of how fun it's been so far. I can also Fading Hope it, by the way, which is kind of buns, but who knows. But Emperor just kind of being flashed in, making a ton of 2/2s as well is probably going to be fine enough. Which, yeah, I kind of figured that's where we were kind of heading. Let me play Emperor now while they're kind of tapped out. I don't really mind if they do this. Make it 2/2.
I'm home.
Could Fading Hope it, but it's fine.
Watch for intruders.
But I get my lockdown back. That's the only real problem for him. Is it's not like it got my lockdown and I don't get it ever again. And this can also close the game pretty quickly. Don't be deceived. Like 4 damage is a ton, but plus like the extra value it gets. We also can target a march and just exile this hive, and we just don't have to worry about it regardless ever again. They finally play a green source. Nice. Yeah, so for me, I'm going to collect evidence 6. I'm going to grab this lightning helix. And okay, they decide that they've had enough. I was gonna grab lightning helix. The problem is you have to make it 6, and I don't want to exile too many cards, because if they do Serum Snare or they do like Fading Hope on this creature, I lose all the spells that are underneath this. So I was trying to like map out if I wanted to do both my lightning helixes and whatever, or just do one and plus a memory deluge. But then I like having memory deluge held back, but I have 2 in the yard, so like if I lose one, sure, that's fine. Same with like ill-timed explosion. If I lose one, it's fine. I just kind of move from there. And but this is going to come up. I'm going to attack for a ton. They can't even block, so they have to protect their life total because it's 6 damage. And then I can just lock down again, get rid of this, make another 2/2, and then go from there. So grind that out. That's pretty sweet. Jeskai control. Here we are. This is what I settled on. I've been playing a lot of games. I do think that the list is pretty tight. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think the hardest part of this list, and maybe the deuce needs to change, but every time I had the deuce, that card was super dope. So I'm not entirely sure. You could argue this needs to be impulse. It needs to be faithful mending, but I think that's also hard because of the way your lands intertap sometimes. Sometimes this just relieves that pressure a little bit early, but the hardest part of this entire deck, and the reason I think this deck is very hard to pull off, is one, in terms of fast mana, you only have Sequum Coast, I think. I could be wrong. Am I wrong on that? I don't think I'm wrong on that. No, you don't have the blue-red one, because that's why Prowess struggles to be blue-red. Don't have the red-white one. Yeah, we don't have the fast mana here. And we also, as you can see, don't have the Triumph. So it gets very difficult to kind of pull this deck list off in terms of the mana-wise, because you have to play such an awkward, weird, clunky tap mana type deck that it just kind of sucks. The main thing that I didn't like, weirdly enough, and I think maybe that could help us in a lot of spots, make sure our mana is untapped, I honestly didn't really like the creature lands deck. At least it never felt like I wanted to do them. I always wanted cards. I always wanted to draw. I always wanted to do something else. I had a lot of mana to do a lot of different things. And truly enough, I think a card that has been a sleeper card, and the reason I built this to begin with, I put too many in at first, and then I went down to 1, because this card is a deceiving card. This card, most of the times, you're never slipping in on turn 3. And having it like not die. Maybe in best of 3 you can, because like obviously the format's a bit slower. But this card right here, I think we saw the power of this card today, and I'm so happy about it, because what happened was we ended up playing this way later. We had 29 total mana value in our graveyard or something like that, and this card just constantly was like, all right, well, you have the damage spell we need to get the game over with. We have the counter spell to protect it. We can deduce, we can draw more cards, we can exile a memory deluge, because this forces you to cast it. That's why I called it Snapcaster Mage, I'm pretty sure, in one of the spots. But it forces you to cast it so you don't get cheesed in terms of casting this memory deluge. If you cast a memory deluge for free and put no mana into it, you look at the top 0 cards and put 2 of those cards in your hand, which guess what? 0, 0, 0, 0. Absolutely 0. But you don't get any cards, so it's actually kind of a weird Namba with the like cards that let this cast that for free. But this actually exiles us, and the same with our March of Otherworldly Light. This actually exiles it, therefore, and makes us cast it. Therefore, we can pump as much mana into X as we would like to pump into it, and that's very, very cool. Another card that I was very excited about playing day, and I've seen it getting played quite a bit in a couple other decks. There's a teamer deck running around just playing it. Is Ill-Timed Explosion. Our deck is very high mana cost, but also super sweet at the same time, with having value like Memory Deluge to throw it in the graveyard and have Ill-Time deal 4 damage. Like, this obviously dies, but like, and this would die, like all of our creatures would die, but we also can slot in this 3 mana slot by getting rid of a lockdown or something and then only deal 3 damage, or most of the time when we cast this, we don't have to discard at all. It's just, it can be a 4 mana draw too. It is a sorcery speed spell, but it's not entirely the worst thing. The other thing that we get to do is this is a attack trigger. So when we attack, we can then cast that card, and it does not care if it's an instant or sorcery. It is casting the card for you. You don't have to meet that timing restriction. Therefore, if you exile this underneath for the combat and attack with this, you can actually board wipe them at instant speed, and that's very, very cool. It's a very, very cool thing to do overall. But outside of that, things I actually did enjoy, which was weird, is this guy was pretty cool in terms of closing out the game, and I think that's one of the reasons I didn't really enjoy this card as much, because I actually enjoyed the Surveil lands. I did not really enjoy this card, which is awkward. I've been enjoying the man lands a lot lately, but regardless, Field of Ruins are everywhere, so like it didn't really matter too much, and honestly giving our opponents less target to Field of Ruin, making them less likely to do it when we only play 3 basics, is actually kind of important. But this card was sick. I mean, we just surveilled, we looked, we grabbed a card, and then, or not surveil, we look at 3. Strategic planning. That's what I wanted to say. We look at the top 3, we put one in our hand, put the rest on the bottom, we call it a good day, and we're having a good time. And then Teferi. Holy, did Teferi feel nuts when I played it to 1 game. I know that 5 mana walkers are very hard to stick and have them be good, but with this deck, there's much spot up removal and card draw that we can get into, and some of the frustration with this deck I had today was not having a Memory Deluge online, or getting to a Memory Deluge and not being able to cast it to draw cards, was what actually lost us the game most of the time. If we have cards, you can always kind of scrap out of it, because the way that the deck's kind of constructed with Sunfall's Farewell is kind of that 1 bullet backup card. Marches can exile anything, Get Lost can kind of stop anything if we need it to. We can kind of tempo plays out early. We can lightning helix things that are important. Like Mono Red actually had a big struggle against us, and the only time I actually even lost to Mono Red, I think I lost once to Mono Red, is I just didn't have the draw. Like I didn't have anything to draw an extra card, and I end up flooding and losing, which can happen. Like that's what happens when you play a lot of lands. So normally I'm on 26. I think here I'm on 27 plus the Celestis. I definitely think you can go down. I wouldn't even mind trimming these out, like trimming one of these out and just playing maybe one of them, or playing the best one in these colors in general, which might actually be the blue-red one, because it's only a blue and a red to attack with it, and it's scrying. And a lot of times our cards are actually good enough to win. And maybe, much as I hate saying this myself, might have to slide in a Jace in this deck, and weirdly enough, that's actually to -1 you most of the time, so you can get more cards in for this card. I want to find a way to play more of these, because I think this card was super sick all day. And maybe instead of like a white synergy build, a blue-white synergy build, kind of playing red, maybe we go more blue-red and play white, and then instead of like these, we play Brotherhood ends, things like that. But who really knows? Outside of that, that's all I got today. I had a lot of fun playing this deck. I know my outro is a little bit longer, but I'm trying to experiment into an archetype that I think is pretty sick. Blue-white's obviously very good. And we went up against blue-white, and we actually ended up taking it down today because of our weird valued cards getting a lot of tempo value against them. And it went well. So outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed the content wherever you're watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening as well. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.